This is Nixie and I'm here with Raiden. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm cool.
What are you doing at the moment?
Basically DJing abroad every single weekend at the moment. Just built a new studio, so like, you know, making some more beats and stuff. There's so much going on, I can't even begin to know where to start, to be honest.
So how long have you been actually producing?
Since about 2000. I had a really crappy job, I was really bored of it, and then like, you know, just saved up all the money I was earning, bought a computer, quit my job, went on welfare, sat, you know, and just learned it.
Did you always have drum and bass in mind?
Not when I first started producing. I was making electro and techno, to be honest, but the electro I was making, people were saying that's like drum and bass, so I started listening to more and more drum and bass, and I started hearing like No U-Turn, things like that. I started going to the Renegade Hardware nights at the end, and obviously like those nights were so legendary. That was the thing that made me go, right, drum and bass is for me.
And what about the DJing?
The only reason I started DJing was like, well, I'm making some tunes, I wouldn't mind rocking a local house party or something, you know, in front of 10 people.
And do you enjoy DJing?
Yeah, I love it. I'd even go as far to say I probably prefer DJing more than I do production, in the sense I love just like going out. I love the whole experience of like going somewhere, seeing people going crazy, meeting new people. How
did you get yourself out and about? How did you get yourself signed, noticed?
I used to just go to like every single drum and bass night that I could, you know, whether it be local, whether it be in London, and I'd always go with like 10 CDs, and I'd just go up to a real big name producer, tap him on the shoulder and go, yeah, here's a CD. And I did that for like a year. And one day I gave like a CD to Keaton, and I saw he was playing in Brighton a month later. So I went along and, you know, just to find out what he thought. And he was standing next to Friction, DJ Friction. Keaton was really into the track, and Friction had already seen me before from a recording studio I was working at the time. And they said, yeah, like next time you're in the studio, bring your tracks down with you.
Which label was your first release on?
My actual debut release was Renegade Hardware, but I was already hooked up with Transparent.
How important is it, do you think, to stick to maybe 1 or 2 or 3 labels when you're starting out?
No, I think it's very important actually. You know, it's all to do with like branding. You know, if you're making like a food product, you'd want it to be in the best food shop possible, because that makes your product look better. I didn't really want to like spread myself out too thin, because it was pretty cool, because, you know, like what with being on Hardware and having Friction helping me, you know, they kind of showed me the way and made sure I did the right moves, and they always said like, you know, just make sure you just do the right releases for the right people at the right time. I've got friends of mine who are making some insane tracks, and I'm making sure they don't give them to anyone, because it only takes one track for you to blow up massive, you know, one track, and it is worth just waiting for that track. And at the end of the day, if that one track goes off, your whole back catalogue will get signed along with it.
We hear a lot of sort of techno influences in your production. Is that because you were into techno before?
Yeah, I'm a complete techno fiend.
You're still into techno, obviously?
Love techno, yeah. I probably know more about the latest techno releases than I do the latest drum and bass releases.
Can we see Raiden maybe under a different name as a big techno artist at any point in time?
Oh, I'd love to see it happen, believe me. I'd love to make some more techno, but I always tend to start techno tunes and never finish them. I always go, oh, wicked, that's a wicked riff, and then just speed up to 170 and then throw it in, it becomes a drum and bass tune. So one day, yeah, I hope to just get a techno release just as an ambition, you know, just one release would be enough for me.
What do you think of the opinion that techno drum and bass has no soul, it has no funk?
Go and see Jeff Mills play and then come back and try and say that then, you know. I think that's just a very naive view of techno. You know, I think it's very funky, vibrant music. Techno's just such a wide banner. It's like saying techno's like saying drum and bass has no soul. I think a lot of drum and bass that calls itself techno is a bit, you know, just because there's a bleep in a tune doesn't mean it's techno, do you know what I mean? Exactly. And like acid hasn't been used in techno for years.
Can we ever see like a liquid production from yourself?
I don't know, to be honest. If I was going to do something more mellow, it wouldn't necessarily be liquid, because liquid is like, I don't know, like a very housey, soulful kind of sound, and that's not really what I'm about. Like, it doesn't always have to be hard in a sense. Like I am thinking about doing some more mellow tracks, but they wouldn't be more to the house side. They'll still have a kind of a techno influence or anything, and still be kind of dark, just maybe not quite as hard.
What can we expect from you coming up?
I'm launching my own label called Off Key Recordings, which is very much dedicated to like pushing the real techno sound, almost like really pushing it, you know, like more than I should in some respects. You know, just like really nasty off-key hooks. I don't know what my sound is, you know, everyone keeps telling me, but I can't hear it. But whatever that is, you know, I'm just going to keep trying to push that further and further. And everyone's wondering what the new thing is, but I think it's going to be the blurring of musical styles, you know, and that's how I feel, and that's why I'm not feeling so afraid to try and merge my techno influence, and I'm not ashamed to have my techno influences, you know, just blurring everything together.
What advice would you give up-and-coming producers? Because I think you are a bit of a bedroom producer, DJ, pin-up. if there was such a thing.
People go on about individuality and stuff. I think it's not so much about making yourself individual. I think you've just got to believe, just doing what you really truly believe in, and even if it takes longer, I think people will see that, and that will get you recognised. You know, there's no point just making a bunch of tunes that everyone else, you know, that sounds like everything else out there, but then there's no point trying to make something different for the sake of it. I think it's just a case of knowing when you're ready.
Well, it's been really nice talking to you. Thanks for talking to us today.
Thanks.